Welcome, travelers. Sparks here. On this episode of Dice&Dish, we have Erica Nerdy Yogi,
Ew.
Foxfire,
Hello.
and then if you're on the YouTube, you can see that we have somebody with us. It looks a little bit like Santa, but it's not really Santa. We have a Dungeon Dave with us. So if you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody where they can, or tell everybody what you do,
Sure.
makes a
Hey,
little bit more sense.
thanks for having me on Dice&Dish. This is fantastic. My name is Dungeon Dave or DM Dave, or just Dave. You can call me whatever you want. You can call me Santa. That's kind of hot. It's probably because I'm getting pretty gray in the beard. What do? I play games, produce games, and run games over on a little Twitch channel called Guild Superior, with a bunch of friends and good people who are creative and funny and dramatic at times, and we laugh and cry and tell lies and make up stories, and it's been really fun. We've been doing it for about 3 years, maybe a little bit longer than 3 years, and I don't know, it's been a total trip just playing D&D and taking it to a different sort of genre, different medium, and meeting with so many different people across the world. So it's been really fun, and that's where I spend most of my time is on our Guild Superior Twitch channel or in our Discord. We have a really nice Discord community too. So that's what I do. I play games.
Definitely, all the links will be in the description. Just if you're listening to this anywhere, we'll have links to everything. So, I believe Erica has some lightning questions, right?
Oh boy.
I do. Yeah. Just real quick, they're nothing big, like yes or no, this or that kind of thing. Would you rather be plane hopping, like Feywild, kind of, or planet hopping, like Spelljammer?
Plane hopping.
Tech or books at the table?
Tech.
Caster or melee?
Caster.
Just that way the audience kind of like knows a little bit about you, what you prefer. And then we'll get into it. I'll roll the die. We'll see who goes first. Oh, well, look at that. It is your topic, Santa Dave.
Oh, holy cow. Here we go.
So why don't you tell us about your topic?
So my topic was holiday streams, yeah. And I guess like what I was thinking about when I told you that this was a topic of mine is that it's the holidays. Obviously, we're all dressed up, decked out in our holiday best here, and Dirty Santa, love that. So yeah, I was one of the things I was curious about is like, do people like holiday themed one shots, holiday themed adventures? And if so, like what types of adventures or what kind of characters? You already mentioned Santa Claus, obviously a classic. Like an army of nutcrackers would be sweet to have in some sort of an adventure or encounter. So I was kind of curious, like what people are into, because we are in the process of putting together a couple of holiday one shots over in Guild Superior, and so it's on my mind.
Well, for me, I like the holiday games. I think they're fun. A lot of times with our group, we don't really do holiday games. I usually watch holiday games at home, like during the season. I would like to play in them. I would like to do one for like all the major holidays. I think it'd be fun, almost like taking the idea of Nightmare Before Christmas and like how, you see Jack has the trees to the different, holiday locations, and maybe play with something like that where and it's almost like planes of existence. You could hop through. Oh, we're going through, the St. Patty's Day tree this time, or we're going to, the Christmas or whatever it is that you choose to celebrate holiday wise, and just kind of go to those different places and have the Nutcracker thing. That sounds awesome. I would love something, even if you did it based on like, the Nutcracker ballet or just that tale. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I like the idea of a holiday mashup that you just talked about, where you've got
Yeah.
elements from the various holidays that people celebrate, and they all kind of come together in a very chaotic way that ties together whatever the quest is that you're on, to like maybe sort out the chaos, or like put the holiday characters back where they belong type of thing, or something of that nature. That sounds pretty fun. You could do a lot of different things with that idea.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I really wish I'd stolen or thought of your idea because now I'm just going to steal it, and now I have to say I stole it from you.
I don't know if it was my idea. I mean, you could have like gingerbread golems, or like animated cookies that come to life. I mean, there's just so many weird things you could do. There's all kinds of MacGuffins like 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 ornaments, magical ornaments that could do different things, or like maybe Santa's hat has been stolen, or the delivery
Santa's
of
sack has been
Christmas.
stolen.
There, exactly. I mean, there's so many ways you could take it. So yes, please, if take the Nutcracker army and do something with it. I think that would be awesome. Foxfire, I think you should totally do it.
See, for me, when I was thinking of a holiday one shot, I was thinking maybe Santa Claus got kidnapped because I mean, you can have Christmas without Santa's hat. You can't have it without Santa or the gifts.
Sorry, you
Yeah.
Santa's sack? Are you
I
just
said
afraid
Santa's
to say
hat.
it? You just
No, I
afraid
said
to say
Santa's
it?
hat. You can have Christmas without Santa's hat. You can't have it
Yeah.
without his sack either. I mean, that's kind of a necessity.
Because it has the presents.
Exactly.
I
And
mean,
there's
it's
a
basically
lot of things you could do
golden.
with winter solstice, like
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
lot of cool things you could do this time of year, with some of like the Yule lore from Scandinavia. We did a one shot using the Vaesen rule set last year that was very much kind of embedded in that Scandinavian mythology of Yuletide. Um, so it doesn't have to be like kind of your Christianity sort of based vibe. It could be, you could go in a lot of different directions with it, which is pretty fun.
The Yule log, it makes me think about there's this if you watch like Sabrina on Netflix, like the news of Sabrina, they have a Yule log
I know. That's what I was going
movie
to
that
talk
you could draw a lot of inspiration for game. And this isn't really, but this isn't really like Christmassy and stuff. Is kind of more on the holiday of like love. But if you're interested in like DCC, they have Love in the Age of Gong Farmer, which is a level 2 adventure, and it's all about like this woman is on the quest to find like the heart of her lover. I think that's right. It's really silly and wacky. It's like a love boat ride if you're interested in something that's not just like Christmassy and stuff, but a different holiday. I just thought about it, so I thought I'd throw it out there.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't necessarily have to just talk about Christmas or Hanukkah for a holiday one shot. I mean, I've written a Halloween one shot based on Camp Crystal Lake and Friday the 13th that I've never gotten to run, but I've seen quite a few of those type of one shots for Halloween in particular. But I mean, any holiday could be turned into something. You could do something with just about anything.
Boxing Day.
I feel like
What would you
Yes.
do with Boxing Day?
You just do a big old arena.
Yes, and that's actually not hard to do. I recently had to pull an arena out of my butt for one of my campaigns, so there's that.
Wait, you had an arena in your butt?
I did. I keep everything up there and just periodically pull it out if I need it.
Spoken like a true dungeon master. I love it.
hey, you know
Exactly.
what? We're talking about going to. Never mind. I'm not even like y'all give me crap about going to California, and now you're talking about that. See how it is? Yeah.
Talking
Don't know
about
what I'm
what?
talking about. Sorry.
What?
No, nothing. Don't worry
Is that
about
an
it.
inside joke? Is that an
Sparks,
inside
are you
joke?
as
It is an
confused as I
inside joke
am?
about
I'm
going to California.
Very
I'm gonna
confused.
pretend like I know what it is and just
Joyride.
kind of nod my head.
Wait.
Yes. Yeah. Don't worry about it. So, no, I agree. Like you could do so much, especially with Halloween. Like corn mazes, stuff like that. I've built like those before, and I think drinking contests are always fun for in gameplay or at the table. If you're into that kind of stuff. If you're not, that's okay. But having something that's tactile, I think that's always fun at the table to almost like to where you're connecting with the holiday at the table in real life or online if you play online. Like how we dressed up, having something. Maybe you change the color of your dice or something could be interesting.
or like a St. Patty's Day themed one shot where you have to do shots of Irish whiskey every time that you get a critical failure.
Yeah. Or
Or
somebody
how
like
long that would
pinches
last.
you.
Or a critical success. I mean, if you get like a natural 20, like a critical success, you might as well drink then too. Like,
That's right.
Celebratory.
I mean.
Or what about this? What about a Mother's Day game where everybody plays with their mother? You bring your mothers to the table.
My mom would be so confused. She would try, but she'd
My
be so
mother-
I played
confused.
with my mom.
My mother still
Have you?
asks me if I win when she talks about our games. Did you
My
win?
mom,
Mhm.
And I'm like,
she
Mom, it's not like you do it one time and then you win. That's not the case.
The first like
My
3
mom-
times I played, my mom asked if I win, and then I died, and she now asks every time, "Did you die?"
I've been playing for 7 years and I still get the question, are you winning? Did you win? And I'm like, really? It's been 7 years.
I've had my mom help with cosplay makeup before, and she's like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you do, but you look good. I was like, thanks, Mom.
Hey,
I taught my mom
moms
how to
support
play
everything.
about, I don't know, I think it was, see, how old is my nephew? About 7 years ago. Is my nephew, he like heard me talking about D&D, and he was like 13 or 12 at the time, and he was like, I want to play. And so during the summer, since he's an only child, my sister was like, okay, we'll play with him. And my mom played, and I ran the game, and I taught them a very basic version of 5e. And then he said, well, I want to run a game. So he wrote a little story, and we went out on his quest and stuff. And my mom, she never really wants to follow the rules, and she likes to dress up. So she was like, oh, I can like wear this and that, and it goes with my character, and my outfit matches my dice. And so she's all about it, because she likes to do like the dressing up, and like she loves Halloween and all that kind of stuff. And I think I get a lot of my love for the arts from her. So she probably would love that if we did like a mom thing. She actually helped playtest Ragnarborg, her
Oh,
and my
nice.
2 sisters and my 5-year-old niece.
Oh wow!
That's fun.
Look, I'm down to do a Mother's Day thing, just so you guys know. My mom may be less so, because she will be so confused, but would probably be willing to do it.
We play like Honey Heist, something simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom is not going to drive up here to do that. So,
Well,
no, but I mean, holiday one-shots are always going to be a lot of fun. We've done a Christmas one. Me and Erica did. We played the cast of the Mighty Nine.
Oh wow.
Me, you, and Trevor. Yeah, with
oh, that's right. We had a snowball fight.
We had the snowball
Yeah.
fight, and then we had something else that happened. I'm pretty sure we did a Halloween one shot. You ran Call of Cthulhu, and we did Friday the 13th.
We
Mhm.
did. And then when we did the one at Gen Con, it was in of course Gen Con's in August, and for some reason we sat down, we played Monster of the Week,
we
and
did
she
Christmas.
was like, let's make it Christmas.
I think that was like
forgot
one of the
about that.
prompts that she had, and everybody was like, Christmas. She's like, all right, we're doing Christmas in August. And no, I think they can be a lot of fun though. The different ideas. I think the one that we did with Monster of the Week, where it was Christmas, it was like a monstrous reindeer that was weak against candy or something, like the
sugar, yeah.
yeah. And that was like a fun, interesting idea of like, well, it's not Santa, but it's one of his reindeer has gone monstrous, and you have to go and take care of that. But no, I think like many different Valentine's Day, you could do like a Cupid. Everybody could play Cupids, and your goal is to like have so many people fall in love, and you have to like, you could use like a simple system. You could do Honey Heist. You could do something, some like the D6, the Powered by the Apocalypse system of
I
that,
like
just
that
to make it
idea.
super
It's-
simple.
That's a very positive take on on it. Like, yeah, let's see how many. What are your strategies to get people to fall in love with each other, or like to
Yeah.
renew their love for each other? I think that would be really sweet.
Yeah, 'cause you just have like certain scenes, because that's like the whole thing with like Monster of the Week and like those, like you have scenes that you're in, and you kind of could just
Monster
like go
Hearts would
for
be
one
good for
thing.
that.
See, I thought about Monster Hearts, but then some of them you would have to make your own classes for them.
Yeah, get the
So
strings, the
the
ties and all
strings,
that kind of
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But having something that's like, I feel like the major holidays that people love to celebrate and do are super simple and super easy to come up with ideas for. But you have Thanksgiving. I mean, yeah, you could go hunt a giant turkey, but that's not fun.
Dude,
Like,
Thanksgiving is so easy. I mean, at the very beginning, it was two groups of people who weren't getting along that came together because they were essentially both starving. So, I mean,
but if
maybe
we
you
want to
have
get into the nitty
that.
gritty of that history, it was not as clean cut as what they
It
tell
was
you.
not. It was
So,
not. I said the family-friendly version, not the historically accurate version.
yeah,
Well,
it was-
maybe you don't just hunt the turkey, right? There's those like what is it, like a turducken, where it's like there's a giant duck
Yeah.
and there's a giant turkey and
well, no, if you're gonna call it a turducken, it's a turkey, a chicken, and a duck fused together.
yeah. Well, yeah, you like gotta hunt all three
They're
of them
just
and,
not
like,
shoved
put
up
'em
each other's
together.
assholes and
That's
baked.
terrifying.
No, just
And
maybe
it
they all come
breeds
together.
Gravy.
Yeah, you shoot like
Yes.
gravy on them.
And instead of grease, the spell is now gravy, and you shoot out gravy onto the. Oh my gosh.
Instead of burning hands, it's broiling hands. So you like
Oh yeah. I
Oh
love
my
that.
gosh. No, I think having holiday one shots though is a really fun thing, like to do with a group. Like if it's everything, I think the last few times we've had a holiday while we were in game, it's always been through a campaign. And
I was
it
gonna
didn't.
ask about that.
Yeah, I think the only time we've done a holiday was in yours, Erica.
Well, that's actually one of our topics. If we just want to like switch to it.
Oh, it is. Yeah, we can swap to that.
I mean,
Holiday
it is the
festivals.
Great segue.
perfect transition.
It is the perfect segue, and that's Fox's topic, I'm pretty sure.
It is. So I'm always curious how everyone runs their festivals or holidays in game, because I know they can be done very well because you can implement them and then everybody just has fun, or they can just be boring and almost the party just seems to want to skip over it. I've seen it happen both ways, and I'm curious on how everyone else wants to run it. I know when I run a festival or a holiday, I like to make it a big to do. I like everywhere the players are going in that town, because assuming it's going to be in a town, they know. So most recently, I ran a festival in the town where they were coronating the new king, and so I made sure the party knew there were all kinds of vendors that they wouldn't normally be able to access, and they weren't in their normal spot because they were obviously at the festival. There were games they could play to win prizes, and there were special rumors they could encounter if they tried to listen. Tried to play music, and music hates me, so didn't get to do that. But things like that are what I put into the festival, and I'm just curious what you guys do to make festivals fun and interesting in your worlds.
Trying to think, when I've done it, I like to have almost like a rival sort of thing going on where there's other people, and I like games, so I like competition type. Almost like you go to the carnival and it's like a carny thing, but you're competing against other people, whether it's well, a classic is like a hot dog eating contest or a pie eating contest type of thing, or some sort of a race of, whatever the race might be, or scavenger hunts are really fun. I've done a scavenger hunt before that went pretty well because it was like gathering clues. I mean, it was kind of it was kind of turned into a little bit of a traditional structure, but within the setting of a scavenger hunt at a festival. So they had to look for clues. They had to build assets with certain NPCs to get clues to find the next thing. And there were other people like competing against them to find the whatever it was at the end of the scavenger hunt. So I like having a little bit of a rivalry or competitive aspect, because it still builds that sense of urgency and sort of there's stakes, so there has to be some sort of a reward too. That's kind of been my approach in the past anyhow.
I think the first one I ran was a carnival. And then I've done some for, I guess, what you consider like a winter solstice or something like that. But I like to draw from, we've talked about like drawing from real life, right? And bringing stuff into games. So when I think about holidays, I always think about food first, because to me, like, I love food. I love holiday food. There's certain foods I don't eat any other time of the year, but this time of year. So I always think about food and drinks. I like to actually, like I was saying about bringing stuff to the table. If there's gonna be like hot chocolate in the game, then we have hot chocolate at the table. If there's gonna be candy canes in the game, then there's candy canes on the table. That way there is like a connection, a tactile connection, to what's happening in your imagination and to you as a person. I like to bring in music, entertainment. Um, Fox, you were talking about setting it in a town. I like to include important NPCs in the town. Maybe if you have like an NPC that's become really good friends with the party, they run into them. Maybe they end up competing against them in the games. That way it's like, they usually just see them as a merchant, but like today, they're fighting for a prize against them. I think fashion's important. Getting all dressed up and having at least one tradition. It's like every year at this festival we do, X. Like it's like we light the tree, we burn the massive structure that people will spend days building, whatever it is. Like bringing Burning Man into your game. I don't know. I've always wanted to go. So, that's kind of the way I like to do it. I like to try and think about what makes holidays special to me in real life as, just who I am, and I try to put it in the game, because I feel like, if I like it, maybe other people do. I don't know.
Okay.
So it has been talked about many a times on this podcast. I do not usually run games. I usually run one shots. So I've not really ran a holiday like festival kind of one shot. And I probably wouldn't be the best person. Really, the major holidays that I just really care about is Halloween. I don't really care about I'm not big on like Thanksgiving. Christmas is nice to get together with people. That's about what I like about Christmas and Thanksgiving, is just getting together. I'm not a big fan of the food. It's a hot take. So a lot of mine is just like whenever we can get together and we can play games, that's kind of my like, this is fun. This could be like a holiday tradition that I would like to have, is having a games that like around that time and we just kind of get together and do that. But having like music, I think, is really fun. Whenever we did like Erica's Winter Solstice, having the music that was going on, like kind of like not normal Christmas music, but it was kind of like your instrumental Christmas music of like bardcore playing holiday music, which was fun. I think we did potluck during the winter when we had our Christmas winter thing. We did like potluck, so we had the food, and the food was in the game. Dressing up, not in person, but in game is always a lot of fun, having something that does deal with fashion, like Erica said. But I feel like having games is fun, like what you said, Dave, like having something like games that are going on, like, you have hot dog eating contest. You could change it like a candy cane eating, like if you wanted to go more festive with it. I don't know. I don't really decorate or worry about the holidays except for Halloween, just because that's when a lot of the scary movies come out. So I'm like, this is my month. October is like horror movie central. It's like, this is the month that we live for. But yeah, so I don't know. This topic was like a little like, when I was thinking about it, I was like, running festivals. I didn't really go to any festivals, so it was like, or if I did, I was working them. I wasn't enjoying them as a patron going to them. So
I think my favorite thing that we've done for a holiday is, I think it was last year, for we did like we always do like Friendsgiving kind of a thing, but then last year, instead of doing like Secret Santa, we twisted it towards like, okay, we're doing Secret Santa, but we want it to be as if your character is buying for that person's character in game.
I think
It was
that
the
was
year
the year
before last.
before. It was the year before because
Year
we
before
were in
last?
your games. Yeah.
Okay. I really liked that. This year we're gonna do Dirty Santa or White Elephant, or everybody calls it different stuff, and it's just like, just fun, jokey kind of stuff this year.
Weird stuff. Yeah.
But I like the idea of like my character buys for somebody else's character, and we always keep the budget really small. That way,
Yeah.
everybody can kind of participate, and it's not like we're breaking the bank.
I think we did something kind of like that last year. I think it was because I got Trevor, our DM, for our Drakenheim game.
Well, we just did Secret Santa last year. We
yeah.
didn't buy for the character. We just
But
we
I think
basically got
most of
everybody on a
us-
list. And
I think most of us still did, though. We were still like, what kind of character do they like? I mean, Trevor was the DM. He needed status rings. That's what I bought him. Erica got me a set of dice that looked like ice, because that's like one of my favorite elements to have is water and ice. So it was like, we still kind of did that.
So when you,
I feel like most people. We can talk about that later.
I was gonna ask, when you're implementing or incorporating a festival into your like a campaign, do you typically make it kind of as an isolated thing, or do you like to tie it into the overall campaign narrative that you're building?
So it depends. So for the one I talked about with the king, they went into town and found out, there was a festival going on. They'd been on the road for a month, so they didn't know anything. But come to find out, the king had been assassinated and his son was being coronated. So it was tied into the greater world. There's more information about it that they did not pursue. But something like that, yes, it is absolutely tied into the world. But I'm thinking about doing a holiday one-shot closer to I'm thinking about doing a holiday one-shot where I'm just going to make it kind of its own thing. They're just going to have a fun holiday session where they don't have to worry about anything, and it's just going to be fun.
The ones I've done have just been like one shots. Like we did, I took Call of Cthulhu and used I've kind of bent that rule system, and we did like a Friday the 13th game to try and get my husband at the table. And because we used to play the video game that is now, I mean, I guess you
So
can still
much
play it, but
fun.
it's not really supported anymore because of lawsuits. We did that for Halloween. I made like a special playlist, and I set it back in like the 60s and stuff. I've never used one really in the campaign for story elements. It's usually just like, you don't have to worry about combat. This is all about role play and having a good time, and that's how I've used them.
Which
So you may
Friday
have
the
anything
13th
else to
is
say?
the best Friday the 13th?
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, if we're going to talk about how it should have been,
Oh my gosh.
the series
No.
should have just been one. Should have
That
just
just
been the
opened a can
first
of worms.
movie, and that's it. Because
It's Freddy versus Jason. Let's be honest.
but yes, that one is the best
Yes.
one. But if we're talking about just Friday the 13th, the series, it should have just been one movie, and that's it, because it was kind of done. Jason was dead, and spoiler alert, it's 50 years ago, 40 years ago when the original movie came out, so you can't come for me. When they killed his mom because she was killing everybody, it should have ended. Because he had no reason. He was already dead. He had no reason to come back. But they saw it and they milked it, and it's still a great series. You should watch all of them. It doesn't matter. You go through the bad ones to get to the good ones.
Yeah, I remember I think it was like my 13th birthday party. We watched like 7 of them or something like that, all night long. Just a movie marathon. It was crazy.
That is crazy. Well, we'll move on to our next one. So let's see what we got. It's gonna be my topic. I wanted to just give people recommendations if you like to watch like holiday themed live plays, and we can just kind of go around and like suggest them. Mine is by Puffing Forest. It's Puffin Forest. He has a YouTube channel where I think he's an animator.
He is.
All of
He
like
is.
his
Yeah,
It's
he is.
amazing.
I don't know. I didn't know for sure if that's his full-time gig or if that's just like a hobby of his. I've been watching his stuff for years. I think he's freaking hilarious, and he has a holiday Puffin Forest D&D one-off, and it's like I think the part 1 is like an hour and a half, and so it's not that long, and there's another part 2. I think it's about the same length, so it's not as long as other people, and of course we'll add the links to these down in the description. So I'll throw it to Dave next. Who would you recommend?
For a live play?
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, the one that jumps out at me is there's that one that the Critical Role group did. I think Liam ran it. It was I
Right
think they were
before
all playing
Christmas.
elves.
The Christmas where we meet Chutney
Yeah.
for the first time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because Chetney is like my favorite character in campaign 3. I mean, Travis is he's so fun. But that character is amazing. And but yeah, I like that one because you got the first Chetney introduction. But I also liked I think that was one of the first times when I was watching I was kind of into the Critical Role stuff, and it wasn't Matt running the game, it was someone else. And I think that was the first time I saw Liam run a game. It was really good. But that's the one that jumps out at me as being very entertaining.
So for me, I don't watch a whole lot of live plays. I just don't have the time. I wish I did because I enjoy them when I do get to watch them. But one that I've watched on and off since they came out was Oxventure, and I love their stuff. They're just silly. They're very lighthearted. They're not one of those silly ones, or they're not one of those serious ones that it's just all gotta be this way. They kind of learned to play D&D on the stream, and you could tell that in the first few episodes. And they do have a holiday session that they do. I think it's a 2-parter. I want to say it's like Wild Hog or something like that, where they go and they have to find a hog for the town for the holidays, and they're just always so silly in it. Freaking Dobbs and Corazon de Baena is always so funny.
Yeah, I kind of have 2, I guess. I have one that's a Christmas. So High Rollers D&D, they did a Christmas special. And this is me searching because I wanted one that was for Christmas. I've not watched it. When I'm at Christmas, I go and watch movies in the theater. I don't stay home, and like I don't do that during the holidays. And same thing for Thanksgiving. That's what I do. But I've seen their DM run a game for the Baldur's Gate 3 cast, and it seems like it's a lot of fun. So that one we definitely wanted to check out. But I wanted to do a different holiday too. Critical Role did Cinderbrush for Valentine's Day a couple years ago, and it was Monster Heart, and it was amazing. I remember it was like Valentine's Day, I think, fell on a Thursday that year, and that was they did a special one-shot for it, and it was amazing. You had so many of them. Matt ran it, and he did it so well, playing teenagers. And all the cast was amazing. You had Dimension 20 people. You had Erika Ishii, which is just a name that's on pretty much a lot of the tabletop RPG streams you see that are like bigger, like Critical Role and Dimension 20 and everything. Vampire the Masquerade. You see her on everything. So like it was fun for her to come on and romance yet another Critical Role cast member, because that's what she does every single time that she is on their stream. She is having a relationship with one of the characters. But those were kind of like the Critical Role one was the main one. But like I said, I wanted a Christmas one, and I was like, I feel like the night before Christmas is going to be mentioned either way. So I was like, let me have one other one. But yeah, those are kind of the Monster Heart one is definitely my favorite holiday stream that I've seen though.
I'm gonna have to check that one out. I don't think I saw that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really
really good. It's what made me. I watched it that night and I bought Monster Hearts 2 right after the stream
Yeah.
for the mini systems that I have that will never get played fully in a campaign.
That's another topic for next time.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
100%.
sorry. It's Sparks. Your last topic.
Last topic, yeah. So my topic was like holiday scheduling. It's not really going to be for like the other holidays that are like, Valentine's Day, Labor Day, 4th of July, kind of things like that. I think it's mainly for, because we're in the time of year that a lot of the times if you're playing like D&D, any tabletop RPG, it's kind of your slower months is November and December, just because everybody's out of town, everybody's doing like all of this. So I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on like holiday scheduling. Do you like to play kind of during this time? Do you like to take a break? Or are you like, well, it's this time, we can have, if we need to do like smaller things, we can do them like over text message or, any way to, like, if you're not going to be at table together. I am a maniac and I will play anytime just because
I guess we're both maniacs.
we do all of our family things on one day in these months just because everybody else has so many other places to go throughout. So like it'll be the weekend before Christmas or the weekend after Christmas is whenever we do Christmas. It's kind of the same thing with Thanksgiving. We'll either do it the weekend before or the weekend after. So I'm kind of like, I'll play anytime. So it's just kind of thoughts on holiday scheduling around like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and if you do have different schedules around any of the other holidays that we have.
Well, for me, I think it's changed over the last couple of years because the first, like during COVID, for example, like 2020, 2021 specifically, there wasn't a lot of gathering, right? So it was a good way to see friends during the holidays was to play online, and it's so easy to connect with people online and play nowadays. Um, I like getting together and still trying to play the home game. I like trying to schedule stuff during the holidays. I just feel like it's part of the fest. It's just festive. I don't know. Um, I feel if I don't play during the holidays that I'm missing something. So for me, it's like I like to keep it going, but I really do like the idea of theming it to, like, this time of year, theming it to Christmas or New Year's or Yule or whatever it might be. But yeah, a lot of people sort of wind down for this time of year, and they have their minds and they're kind of focused on different things. So it can be a little bit harder to get people together. But if you've got a hardcore group with, like it sounds like we have here, game on.
Yeah, our group has been together, I think,
5 or 6
5 to
years.
7 years.
Yeah.
A long time.
Long
It's
time.
been a
We
while.
started out with 13
Oh god.
and went down to
People
6.
playing.
No, me and
No,
Ashley
we-
started playing together in 2016.
Yeah.
When I came
And
in, it was
we
13
had, I think,
people.
5.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was an all-female group that I started that just would try to encourage women to get into the hobby and feel like they had a safe place to try the hobby because they're in where we live. It's you go to game stores and it's mostly males, and so I was like, hey, let's do an all-female group and see how that goes. And from that group, there's 4 of us that stayed, and we started a different group because the others kind of fell off to the wayside. They didn't want to continue to play, and we just stayed together ever since.
Yeah.
So we're like, I look at our group, our Friday night group is kind of like chosen family at this point because we've almost been together for a decade. And so, we do birthdays and we do holidays together. And we've had people have babies, and we've had people lose loved ones, and go through a lot of like life trials together. So I know that like scheduling wise, I feel like most of these major holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's all falls at the end of the month. So if you try to get your game in at the beginning, it might be easier for some people. That was one thing I thought I'd throw out there. If needed, if like you can't get people at the table, maybe, you do Discord, or like Sparks had said, if there's stuff that you could handle beforehand or afterhand via like messaging, and just focus on what you kind of need to, get done, and don't let, sometimes it is kind of fun to get off on tangents and say, hey, I watched this, or I think, look at this funny TikTok video or whatever. Try to like, because time is kind of precious at this time of year, trying to keep, the game on track. I have a hard time with that because I'm like squirrel all the time.
Me and Erica
and
get
you
in
can-
trouble at Table by Fox.
I can't help
You
it.
do no, not by Fox.
I'm
'Cause Fox goes
neurospicy.
right there with you a lot of times.
Yeah, I
You
know.
only get in trouble when you make the dick jokes.
I know, it's
Exactly,
all
and
the
that's
dick
most of the
jokes.
time.
That will always derail the game. A good dick joke.
I can't help it. It's my neurospiciness. It's like I'm here.
It's
then we're
because
there,
like
and-
once like Erica starts, then it gets to me, and then we just can't
Yeah.
stop.
And then it just snowballs from there. And like the whole
Well-
group starts making dick jokes, and then all of a sudden we're off on a tangent.
and then
They are contagious.
Yeah, they are. We found a
Very contagious.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I thought about scheduling wise. Maybe trying to like, if you do get to play, try to stay on task. Don't like railroad people, but almost like, when you go to cons, and I consider like, I know this might sound silly, but Gen Con is the best 4 days of gaming. I love Gen Con. I look at it like a little holiday. I mean, it's a headache a lot of the time, but I really do enjoy it. And we go and we have a group that goes every year together, and we all cram in a room together. We go eat together. We roll dice together. And when you go to cons, the DM tries to keep you on track and keep you from going here or there, because you only have so much time. So, maybe be a little bit tighter with the game when you're running it or playing in it, and being mindful of the time that you have.
Yeah, I don't know how much I can really add to what you said, because it's a pretty concise topic. All the DM can do is say, hey, here are the days I have available. What days work best for everybody else, and see what hits, because the holidays are just, for most people, for the average person, really difficult schedule-wise, because like you guys said, people are going out of town. The actual holiday, of course, they're going to want to spend with their family normally. Not many of us, like Sparks and myself, are weird, and we celebrate on a random day during the month, and then that's it. Most people do actually need, especially the week of, to do those holiday things with their family. And so, obviously the week of is like out. It's not happening. I don't think it's ever happened even with our group. But just keeping that in mind and saying, okay, you have a family, you've got kids, definitely just here's some days that work for me, what days work for you. Being flexible with your day, because a lot of groups also have, like our group is Fridays typically, but sometimes I think it was a session or two ago where we had
Met on a Thursday.
Yeah, we met on a
Because
Thursday instead of a Friday, because
3 of us were going to Texas.
Yeah.
Because I had like a month of cons to attend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
because the 3 of us went to Texas, and then Erica, bless her heart, was going to be busy.
And then the next
Promoting
weekend, it was
Ragnaborg.
both me and Erica. We're going to be gone the next weekend after that to go to another con. It was cons.
Flexibility. Being flexible with your scheduling is really key, I think.
Yeah.
For
And
sure.
just
Yeah.
giving people space, to, if they can't make it for that session, that's okay. Maybe, like.
Yeah, I think it's whenever we have more than, I think, because we're our group now, it's 5 players. And then
Trevor has a hard 3 people rule.
Yeah.
Has
So
to be
it's
3
like,
people at the table.
if there's more than 2 people that are going to be gone, it's out. If I'm going to be gone, what are you counting,
What?
Erica?
I'm just thinking about something. Go ahead. I'm not.
I
You're
was
good.
like,
I was
are
just
you
I had
counting what I'm
nope,
saying?
my squirrel. No, I
That was
saw
Erica's
something
thinking
over there.
face, Sparks.
Yeah.
I saw something in the corner in the room, and I was like, I really need to do that. And I was like, I should write that down. And then you're like, Erica, and I'm like, oh shit.
Oh gosh.
Busted.
Busted.
Busted for thinking. That's
But
what
it-
you get for
Sorry.
thinking.
It also turns into like, if I'm not gonna be here, where are they gonna play? Because at the moment we play at my apartment, which
Well,
It's one of those-
I know Trevor's hosted before.
when my roommates had COVID, he hosted.
Yeah.
And then I
Well,
got
my
COVID
house
right
is
after
almost
that.
We got like 5 more months, and we'll be in my dungeon. I got to figure out the name of it. So
Yeah. But yeah.
Erica's
no.
Dungeon. It's simple.
Mhm.
There
ED.
you
I don't
go.
want to name it after myself.
ED.
Okay, that's fair.
It's the ED.
I think that's all we got to talk about, y'all.
I think so. Well,
Amazing.
yeah. Well, Dave, thank you so much for coming on. Tell everybody
Thanks
where
for
they can
inviting me.
find you again, so they
Yeah.
get it at the front and the back.
Heck yeah. My name is Dave, and you can find me over on the Guild Superior Twitch channel. Come on over and check us out. We have a lot of fun over there. And yeah, Erica's been over there before and hopefully coming back. And yeah, we have a good time. So check us out. And happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays. If you can't tell, if you're listening to this, we're all dressed up in Christmas things because it's holiday. But if you're watching this, then you can see that. So obviously you would know in the beginning this is a Christmas episode.
I wasn't sure if this was going to work for the Christmas or not because this is my devil jacket.
Well, I think it does because your background is Christmassy, so it kind
Yeah.
of works. You're like, oh, it's like Krampus. Oh man.
See, no,
Yeah.
I thought the entire time it was just a fancy Santa Claus jacket.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like it's got these fancy buttons on it.
Oh,
Some like embroidery here.
yeah.
I think it looks like almost like a smoking jacket, and then you've got
Yeah.
that cocktail glass.
Yeah,
You look
it's my
real-
Hugh Hefner.
real- Yeah,
Super
you're very
fancy.
Formal.
fancy.
Real
You're very
fancy.
how we
fancy.
do it.
I'm flashing Santa's beehive,
Santa's
and
pole.
Oh no.
he's stripping on his pole. You know, you gotta get
Shipping
that
on the
money.
North Pole.
He's got to upgrade that sleigh.
He's got to
so-
get Mrs. Claus that diamond she's been wanting.
How do you-
Like,
How do you think they pay for all those gifts?
exactly.
have
How do you think they
Bluetooth.
pay
You
them
gotta
elves?
listen to our podcast as he's delivering
Yeah.
the presents to everybody.
Yeah.
All the toys.
Yep.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
thank you guys so much for listening or watching to this episode of Dice and Dish. And we will see you next time. And happy holidays.
Happy
Happy holidays.
holidays.
Happy holidays. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, Sparks here. Thank you so much for listening / watching to this episode of Dice and Dish. We really hope that you enjoyed it and that you enjoyed the guests that we had on for this episode. All the links to Guild Superior with DM Dave on it will be in the description below, so make sure that you go and check everything out for them. They play a lot of cool games and do some cool little one-shots every now and then. You can find one of our cast members on Erica Nerdy Yogi. You can find her on some of those. So yeah, we really hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that you guys have a great weekend, and also that you have a great holiday season, especially in the next coming weeks. So yeah, our next episode is going to be December 29th. And that is actually going to be the end of season 1 for the Dice and Dish podcast. Our next season after the 29th will start on February 2nd. So yeah, we really hope that you enjoy, and we hope to see you next time. Bye.